When Meve saw Reynard's usually stoic visage with a half-moon grin, she knew he brought particularly good news.
Your Grace, our toil has borne fruit. The liberated towns of Rivia have hired an outfit of mercenaries conveyed to your command, along with wishes for a speedy victory.
Meve cast an eye over the long column of hired soldiers, taking in their top-notch arms and battle-hardened faces.
With support like this to bolster our ranks, our way grows easier,
said the Queen with a smile.
Send the townsmen a letter. Say their queen thanks them for their devotion to the realm, and when the time comes, she shall reward them fittingly.
Yeah. We got lots of men. This church flying the Nilfgaardian flag, it's fine. That's anybody home? No. The midgets live there. We're a small house. Gnomes maybe? No, it's just my royal decree. This lady wants a chance. Your Majesty, the priest who out for in the possession of a fragment of a magical object. Good principles, you've survived with it, no matter the generosity of our offer. What shall we do? It's pay demands. Be lame. 5 turns, I'll turn it in, destroy 3 random enemies. It's not lame, but what do we want to swap it for? For that one, maybe? Do we want to? Maybe this? Let's want that. You know what, actually, I got a lot of damaging units, don't really need that. What did I just get rid of? I don't remember. What did I add? This one? What's this do? Let's take that. Just mix up by 1 card. Okay. Postage that just says here's a quest. Giant field. Okay.
The castle of Rivia now loomed before the Lyrians. Water surrounded it on 3 sides, and dual defensive walls studded with podgy turrets completed its perimeter. It was famously difficult to take, and had changed hands only once, a few months before, when traitors opened its gates to the Nilfgaardians. Foreign banners waved upon the walls. The golden sun and General Epdahi's crest on Rivia's walls. The walls of home. There was somber silence among the troops, the glee and pride of many triumphs suddenly gone. For each knew if the Queen ordered an assault, most would lie dead by sunrise.
Your Majesty,
Began Reynard in a reassuring tone.
we needn't strike quickly. We've time on our side. To prepare would be wise. 2 months, I wager. Perfectly enough. We stop supplies from getting through. They'll capitulate, I've little doubt. Or at worst, be too weak to defend the fortress.
Reynard's reasoning was sound. There was no need for urgency. Meve had the upper hand for the first time in this war.
These invaders have
Siege
grown
cut off the
fond of
castle,
Rivia
yeah.
Castle,
Said Meve.
so let them stay and rot. Reynard, erect road barricades and guard posts between city and citadel. Gascon, seize all boats, barges, anything that floats. Stop anything from entering from the lake. Move!
Soon Rivia Castle stood isolated from the world outside its walls. All roads leading to it were blocked, impassable. Fishing boats, a cordon, embraced the fortress on Loch Escalot. The lanterns on their bows glowed like fireflies in summer. Then, an emissary from the castle brought a message for the Queen. General Epdahi wished to meet, face to face, and half the way between the citadel and the Lyrian camp.
Well, well, some general.
Smirked Gascon.
We've barely snapped the trap shut, yet he's already shaking in his knickers.
Be on your guard, Mother.
Said Willem.
Epdahi I know better than anyone here. The man always has a trick up his sleeve.
We've a few of our own. Sleeves and tricks. But I thank you for the warning and concern.
Meve proceeded to the meeting point without delay. A lone rider soon appeared on the horizon. He came adorned in rich black robes, their golden trim shimmering in stray sunbeams. She'd seen him before. In Edirn, through the megascope.
You came as I requested. Good. Very good.
I couldn't possibly refuse such a courteous invitation, especially to your previous missive. The arty you've grasped.
Your realm fell quickly. I expended little strength in it. This left me much time to study. But we must set aside this bitterness. For Rivia, dear queen.
I see you've ready adopted the rust in my home.
In point of fact, I've grown fond of the castle. Fortifications impressive, of not so your brave soldiers, whom we shall pick off like, in fact.
Dry your eyes, General. Rest easy. Plans for a quick assault. I shall first wait to hear the bellies.
Remarkable. You truly believe in this war? I've not been in the north long, but have discovered something all the same. You know Nilfgaard is large, but your mind's for every army you defeat, another will come to take its place, harder equipped than the one before. Even now, Army Group East is en route to lift siege, due to arrive tomorrow. And you know what will happen. They will crush you against your own castle's wall, like the flea you are.
A charming analogy. Ask for
For this very reason, wish to always.
They did not see enough in Edirn? Are you an admirer in beauty?
You tell yourself, no, in you, animal, prey. And as the hunt's due to start, I need a detailed image of the beast I'll be looking for.
You hunt. Those delicate hands have never held spear or bow. Now sharper for opener, Ija. Not be on hunt. Tomorrow you will be at war. You best pray to your gods you don't.
Without awaiting a response from General Dahi, pivoted to... Her pace was quick, despite a heavy heart.
Ah! 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 Do something, got it?
Let us hope this will end all wars. Many will die. Many.
Meves already awaited her in the command tent. A few Breen gave a report of the meeting, only with great effort.
An army, an immense one, approaches from the west. In open battle, we stand not a chance.
Damn it! War
Scouts were discovered. Captured.
It didn't seem right. Our way so clear, so untroubled.
We must flee? Not at all heroic, I admit. As hell trampled into the dirt.
Easily said, but for a problem. Our force flee infantry. The army that draws near includes cavalry, several regiments. We cannot hold them, cannot hope to hide.
What do you advise?
We've two options. Capitulate.
Bastion.
Take the fight.
For a moment, it's at what cost? Are we to scale a mountain of comrades? I know we're at war and many die. Our troops at Citadel is to condemn them to certain death.
Rivia's walls are unassailable, are fully... More than one way to take any fort, and this fort...
I think where this is going.
I know this citadel like no one else. One potential... The boat landing.
Wait. That narrative appears between the turrets. Land.
The same. As I'm sure you recall, Your Grace, narrow pier stands a narrow door leading straight into the fortress. A small detachment could have protested, overwhelm any sentries, and hide.
What then?
They pass through the fort to the winch and open the gate for the rest of the force.
That is... suicide!
We have it alone.
And I'm to choose to send folk there. Most certainly to die.
You choose anyone, but I volunteer, and will those willing to do the very same.
Bloody plan.
And you've a better way.
Go instead.
Beg your pardon? I don't.
Face it, Reynard, you could pass the a blood green in that armor, apart from which, you're Meve's right hand. So you ought to west.
The winch for the main gate. Where exactly is it?
So in that general area would be my, guess?
Reynard?
In the left side tower, upper floor, Behind a steel grate.
That settles it. Your rates value Gascon, to be sure. But Reynard will lead this assault.
I thank you for trusting me, Your Grace.
I who thank you for all. Godspeed you on your way, and please, don't get killed.
Reynard landing us. In fact, more troops came forth than he could possibly take. They set off in the dark toward the castle, the light of its lanterns blurred by the evening mist. Meve watched anxiously as the boats glided away, her heart pounding in her ears. All depended on this mission. The fate of her realms, perhaps all the North, the lives of her troops, and her own. Now there was naught she could do but wait.
Good luck,
She whispered, gazing at the fortress walls, cloaked by the dark that seemed to surround all now.
The task was simple. Sneak through the castle, defeat the gods defending the winch, barricade themselves in the tower, and open the gate for the advancing Lyrian army. And then, no one spoke of what happened next. There was no need. Use Reynard to infiltrate the tower. Do not let Reynard die. Use the leader ability. Shorten quest special puzzle.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
Move Reynard to an adjacent vertical horizontal position. When the enemy leader uses their ability, move one place to the right. When this unit reaches the right space, return to a position. If Meve chosen here is adjacent to this unit, transfer him to Persuader. Move a spotter 3 places to the right. Can only be played on the range road. Oh wait, is that count? Oh, no.
Oh, Meve.
Oh, I thought he was supposed to... When Meve uses her ability, increases her time along with attacks by destroy Meve's chosen hero. Where am I supposed
Discipline shall bring us victory!
I'm dead. Okay. Yeah, I do want to
The winch!
I have to get
Look to the winch!
Oh. To get to the winch. Well, let's go here then. And let's move up one. Oh, sugar. One. A winch. Look to the winch. Oh.
This way! To the winch! We must open the gate!
The Lyrians prepared for battle, their silence absolute, in darkness, illuminated only by the pale light of the moon. Meve was restless.
I guess.
She paced nervously in a circular pattern,
wait.
awaiting the signal they'd
Still
agreed
swap with
upon.
us, right?
Blast, it's taking long. Much, much too long.
Finally, a torch's faint glow appeared atop the towering walls. It disappeared, then glowed again, and one more time around. Meve leapt in the air, and as she did so, barely stifled a cry of utter joy.
They made it. It worked. Willem, it's time. Sound the horns. Attack!
Moments later, Lyrians in the hundreds burst from the trees. The Nilfgaardian defenders loaded their catapults and ballistae. They did so slowly, convinced the castle walls remained impenetrable. Then they heard chains, grinding and clinking, and the sound sent shivers down their spines. Bewildered, they watched the main gate rise as the attacking force rushed forth. General Epdahi dispatched an elite unit to take back the winch at once. Yet he saw this was in vain and all was lost when Meve rode into the castle courtyard. Meve had begun the day known as a great warrior. Yet by night's end, legend was the cloak she wore. Her shield stopped powerful blow after blow, as her blade found gaps in her foe's black armor. At first, Nilfgaardians scoured the fray in search of the Queen, hoping to prove great heroes. Soon, she was their chief scourge, and they began to flee before her blade that sung their death.
Ratroit! Ratroit!
What was this extraordinary vigor that surged through Meve? Naturally, she wished to liberate her castle and realm, drive off the invaders, defeat the arrogant General Epdahi. But in that moment, above all else, she longed to fight her way through to the guardhouse and bring Reynard's party relief.
Follow me! Move! Move!
As she stepped through the door into the tower, the silence told Meve she'd arrived too late. Reynard's men lay slaughtered in pools of their own blood. The man himself sat with his back against a wall, clutching the broken spear shaft protruding from his chest. Meve tore off her cloak and pressed it against him, desperate to stem the bleeding.
Help's on the way. Please hold on. Please.
I'm sorry. Yet this one time,
Wheezed Reynard.
I can't do as you command, my queen.
Medics on the stairs in the guardhouse, steps away, heard a long, blood-curdling wail. They entered the room to find the Queen kneeling, pounding the wall with her fists, her eyes flooded with tears. Reynard lay motionless beside her, covered by her cloak. The Queen rose, her fists clenched, her shoulders rigid, her knuckles white. Her face betrayed no sorrow, no despair, just rage, hot as a forge, immeasurable.
Now's not the time to mourn.
Seethed Meve, struggling to stay calm.
Now's the time for war, for slaughter, revenge. With victory today, we'll recover our home, return to our kin and set our blades aside at last. Yet until victory is ours, they must drink. Drink greedily of Nilfgaardian blood!
The Lyrians were at the brink, near their breaking point. They'd followed Meve for thousands of miles, over snow-clad peaks, through forbidding swamps. They'd fought, survived countless battles at her side. And though their gazes were now weary, she knew they'd follow her into fire.
Your Grace, the Blackclads. They've holed themselves up in the upper keep. We went to breach the wall, alas to no avail.
Meve nodded, twirled her sword, then leapt upon a mount. Her eyes spoke pure determination.
So will bloody well try again.
The walls of the upper keep were illuminated by torchlight and the glow of burning buildings. Even in the dark of night, Meve could easily discern the fear-twisted faces of the Nilfgaardian defenders. The Queen wiped tears from her cheeks, blackened with ash, and reached for her sword. The time had finally come to drive the Blackclad out once and for all.
This is the end, Epdahi. Do you hear me? I shall stick your head on a pike! Ah!
Nilfgaard!
Our ballista, your command.
I must thank you. Your fortress has superbly solid walls.
In retreat!
Let's give them the arrow. No, let's give them... this area. to get as many shots off.
Left, right,
Are we ready?
left, right.
Hang on, but really need it from each phase to take.
Fiend!
Boost now by 10, put in 1. Yeah. Boop. Boop. Oh yeah, he's got. When an ally dies, summon a new ally to replace the dead ally.
Armor won't serve.
10 with 6. 6.
Enough!
No boost.
I do not need to hear this.
Let's get the
Kill her!
Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Drum. Archer.
Lyria!
And then display. Meow. Meow. Hey. That's some assassins. Well, let's give them.
Fools! I'm surrounded by fools!
Let's go. 3, 2, 1. And. If I had fired that. Oh.
Necessity! Invention's mum.
Warum?
Yeah, that's fine. Let's start with you and grab.
Again and again and again.
What are they gonna play? You know, boost an ally by 10 because you're gonna have an ally out though. Okay.
Able that ass.
I guess let's drum it.
When will you ever learn?
1. Huh? 8.
To the gloire!
Oh jeez. Drum. Destroy. Never. Huh.
Draw and cats out!
That's fine. So let's go 3, 2, 1. Let's play this.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
In. How the hell hurts her?
Archers, let it be night. Obscure the sun with arrows.
2 damage. Yeah.
Don't like this.
9 and 75. Ooh. Boost ally by 10. Ooh. Dang it. What's the boost ability? I like this. Oh, not bad. What? Shouldn't I still be able to shoot those? Instead of shooting my own guys. Oh, because he hadn't officially died and swapped out. That's a bit boring. Why is his better than mine?
Off to the front yet again.
just drink beers and see.
Quiet! Oh, the commissar will hear.
12. So he's got 175, seems to be the thing that beats my guys. That's good. He's gonna get me a car. 12. That's one of those.
Scheiß! In Trade!
Excellent. More beers for the injured guy, and then there we go.
Off to the front yet again.
10. Close. He's ahead of me in points. Ah, jeez. Give me this one up ears. We're not there. We still having a ghost.
Something from nothing. It's exactly what I do.
Start with this. Ballista.
Notice! All roads lead to Nilfgaard!
That's fine. Start with our Lyrian blacksmith.
Now, how did that incantation go?
Sugar. I thought I could get me beer back. But she'd be wrong. She'd be wrong. Roasts. Lead to Nilfgaard.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
How did that incantation go?
Of course, as you wish, master.
Well, damn it. I was hoping we could go that one again. So I could have done that. Hang on, here.
The morrow drink with our forefathers!
Drummer. Army's with.
Come here! Let's dance!
As you wish, master. 10. La, drummer. Oh, good. Goody. There. Flash touch. Boost. Oh. Damn it.
Egroto dum anime est, spes est.
Steal this. Then let's go. Hup, hup. And you deal 5, so you can kill that. Hup. Okay. Yabish 19. Get this effect.
I warned you.
6 damage to you. And then let's go. Hiya. That's upsetting. And then we'll use you. Cha. Yep. I warned you.
God is free! Think I'm afeard?
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
So what's that? You don't want. Maybe want to summon Bear, which gets us. bloodletting. And then we place this. And then we go 1. And then we go hi. And then we go hi.
Inarin Yalde Crowfair.
Then we go here. And hope we win.
Where is he?
Because
Tell me where!
we might actually lose.
Nilfgaard had the upper hand, yet the black-clads had... They now made more use of shields than of swords. When Meve finally broke through their line, they raised their arms in surrender. Rivia Castle had fallen. It was hers once more.
Trocker! Nein zu wien!
Meve showed her prisoners of war mercy, knowing full well they'd only followed orders. Death would be the fate of only Ardal ep Dahi, the one Nilfgaardian who'd issued those commands. Alas, the general had disappeared. A prisoner revealed ep Dahi had fled as soon as the Lyrians had surged towards the upper keep. He had glided down to the lower castle in a wicker basket for transporting food. Curled up beneath potato skins and other scraps, he'd scurried away not unlike a common maggot. Meve cursed her luck and leaned back against a merlin. Dawn was yet a few hours off, but the horizon had already begun to glow blood red. The Nilfgaardian reserves now drew near, too late to prevent the castle's fall.
I'll get him,
muttered the queen, more to herself than anyone else.
I swear on all that's sacred I'll catch the bastard. But now we've a pressing matter to see to. Preparing the defense.
That night the war turned, with the battle for Rivia Castle as its fulcrum. Meve's great victory, not only retaking the stronghold in a single evening, but also fending off a further invading army, proved the Nilfgaardian Colossus had feet of clay. The armies of the north had united and now seemed to be on the attack everywhere. Imperial forces, while still far more numerous, lay with thousands. Their position was untenable. Nilfgaarders knew this. In a decisive battle, they yet gave said battle, and suffered a result. Just a few months on from that memorable night in Rivia, the Imperial army was in utter disarray. Alder's fortress, a last point of resistance. General ep Dahi and what had survived of Army Group East had dug in there. This place, where Nilfgaard had triumphed grandly in the war, would now bear witness to its impending defeat. History, after all, has a sense of humor, or both. Though Meve had already reclaimed her realm, she refused to retire her just yet, for King Demavend had requested her aid in purging Edon of the invasion. She owed the king a favor, firstly. Yet she also had a burning desire to score.
I spoke with Demavend's envoy. King's got Aldersburg surrounded. On you.
Splendid. I truly hate to miss it. Tell the troops to prepare. Spirit and bloodlust.
I hear it from you. Just don't sense much excitement. Lads from orders.
Forgive me. I'm afraid I forget.
I'm not Reynard. Perfectly normal, I dare say. Man was hand, likely need a bit to grow accustomed to his absence.
I thought that night rather. Perhaps I made a mistake. Perhaps to die.
Of course he didn't. He might have surrendered. Meve, don't take this the wrong way. But was a thought he knew he could die. And I can't think of a more honourable.
Right. But a dear friend's death, well, never easy. I'd imagined a time. The war would hang up his sword, settle down, start a family.
You damn well never do that.
Why ever not?
Me? Sure. Reynard was in love with you. He died of his own free will.
But he never...
Of course not. Difference in status, its honour and all that. Have been different now, given the last moons, but...
The queen turned away. She did not wish Gascon to witness her actions.
We've talked enough. We must march on to all.
Tis slayer of the Blacklands! Long live the Queen!